I have every belief in God and in a higher power and in something more for us on the other side and on the last side, before we got here, as I said. I just haven't figured out how I interact with it, what's really required of me.
How is your faith journey going?
It's doing okay. I put the annulment papers to the side for now.
Really?
I'm going to pick them back up. But it was bothering me so much, I just decided to table it.
I watched a clip of you, and I think he was a bishop, asking about the middleman, and the answer seemed to be trust the process.
Well, all my Catholic viewers say the same, right? And then people who are not Catholic are like, you don't need the middleman. I did have somebody make a good point to me about in favor of the middleman, what I'm stewing on, which was it was a priest who said to a friend of mine, people complain, why do I have to deal with the middleman? I want to get an annulment, or I just want my divorce to be recognized by God. I don't want to have to do anything, actually, after I've done the legal thing. And he said, but those same people, if a family member is dying, I'm their first call to get in there and give last rites. And that's true. My sister died 2 years ago. And when that priest came in there to give her the last rites, it was an important moment. I was relieved he was there. And I've never said so many Hail Marys, right in a row. It was intense. So maybe it's just the way I've been raised, my Catholic background. He's not wrong. The middleman was important to me in that moment, and I believed. So that kind of opened the door back up to me, just seeing it through. Nothing harmful, I think, will come from seeing it through. Something could potentially harmful happen if I don't see it through and I'm wrong that I'm already absolved, right? Like, what if I'm not absolved and I actually do need, I don't know. These are the thoughts you go through because you got these crazy messages being handed to you by religious figures.
Mm-hmm.
But that sounds crazy, right? That I would need a man to tell me I'm good with God after having a divorce that was totally legal and finding a new man who I love and making 3 beautiful children and living in love and harmony with all of us. Sounds crazy that I would need anybody to pass any judgment on that. But, we're all raised with these beliefs. It's a form of indoctrination, right? You go every Sunday and you hear the same messaging, and you go to Sunday school, and then you go to, confirmation and CCD, all the stuff. And it's very hard to just say, well, that no longer works for me, so I reject it. It's baked in there.
Yeah, I get it. Have you read the whole Bible?
No.
Me neither.
I've listened to Bible in a year a couple times. I don't think that counts.
Father Mike
Schmitz.
Yep. Yeah, I've listened to it. I don't think it says anything in there about a middleman. Ever.
I think you're right. I think that's a man-made creation. I hope my priest doesn't watch this. What if he watches it and then he says, reject it when I submit the papers? Oh, crap. I don't know. It's like, back to our earlier discussion, I have every belief in God and in a higher power and in something more for us on the other side and on the last side, before we got here, as I said. I just haven't figured out how I interact with it, what's really required of me.
Have you ever heard of John Burke?
No.
He wrote, great, now I'm going to have a brain fart. He wrote a book about NDEs.
About what?
NDEs, near-death experiences.
Love those books.
Wow. He wrote a book called Imagine Heaven, and I cannot remember the big one that he wrote, but it's all about NDEs, and he went all around the world, and he interviewed over 1,500 people from different countries, different religions, all about their near-death experiences. And puts together all the commonalities. It is. I interviewed him because I'm digging. I want to know.
Yeah.
And the one common thing that happens to all of them is they get the opportunity to accept Christ, even if they don't believe. And I guess the only reason I'm even bringing this up is that it may be something you want to look into, because he just has an amazing way of describing all these experiences, putting the commonalities in right in front of you. And he even talks about people that have he calls them hellish near-death experiences, where they actually go to hell, and everybody gets the opportunity to accept Christ.
Wow. I will read that. I love those stories. I did a lot of those stories when I was at NBC, and they were always stunning. You would just not be able to move afterward. And it's always somebody who didn't believe, before it. A scientist, a doctor. It's amazing to listen to those stories. I guess like when I'm listening to you, and Father Mike is Catholic, he definitely urged me to get the annulment. I'm a rule follower in general. Like I don't like people telling me what to do, but once there's a rule, I generally follow it. And so I wrestle with that because it's like, this is the rule. I like it to be clean. It'll be all clean. If I get an annulment, it will be clean. And I can make sure all the boxes are checked that I need checked, that these authority figures have told me must be checked. And I realize this is not exactly free thinking. But back to the earlier point, there's a reason for that. Belief in many ways is not free thinking. Just the acceptance of God could be mocked as it is by people like Bill Maher and others as like crazy talk. So if you start to go down that lane, what else gets thrown out the window? What else is silly that you believe? Like I'm really kind of stuck. So I've decided to hold, like I said. And right now I just kind of see it as like the one way has no disadvantages. And the other way might, unless I read your book and it tells me I get a second chance to clean it up at the end.
It's already cleansed. That's the whole thing about Jesus. He's cleansed us all already. He knows we're all shitheads, and he's already forgiven us. All you have to do is accept him. That's it. That's all you got to do.
But then, and stop going to Catholic Mass.
No, I'm not trying to get you to stop going to Catholic Mass.
Well, but I mean, that's what would continue happening, and I would feel, you're not supposed to take communion, you're not allowed to give confession. There are all sorts of rules that you're supposed to comply with over there, or just be a sinner.
Wait, over where? In the Catholic
Church?
Yeah. Yeah, there are a lot of rules.
It's not a religion for wusses.
I was there.
You were?
I wussed out.
But you gave it a try?
Oh, no, I was raised Catholic.
Oh.
I was raised Catholic. And then I lost it. But I didn't lose. I just lost faith, after. I just wasn't a great person. Mm-hmm. The SEAL teams will do that to you. Mm-hmm. But I found it, and, I found it again, and man, I just love exploring it without the rules, because it just opens you up to so much more, and I don't know. I just want that for you.
Yes, it sounds amazing. You probably gleaned from the way I talk about like my approach to my business and my life. It's definitely more me to say, these are the 5 things that need to get done, and I will get them done. I'll get them done better than anybody will get them done. I will out-hustle everybody else's annulment. Right? Stupid. It's just my general default makeup, right? Like taking it easy on myself and letting myself kind of off the hook doesn't sound like me.
How would you be letting yourself off the hook?
Like I don't have to go through the shame and the hassle and the difficulty of getting the annulment.
What does that entail?
You have to confess like very intimate secrets of your life and your marriage, your first marriage, to a stranger. I mean, and you have to write tons of stuff and you have to get witnesses to write in about your marriage. You have to dredge up all this stuff. My poor ex-husband had to be brought into it too. He was fine. He was cool with it. He was, on board. But I just feel like, wow, they really make you work for it. And then you may or may not get it.
What if you don't get it? What happens?
Then I'm definitely going the other route. I'm going full bore. I'm going to get Father Mike on and we are having it out.
No matter where you're watching Shawn Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.